Southweston.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. To my constituents of Vietnamese origin, Chúc Mừng Năm Mới, which means Happy Vietnamese New Year. But on Bill C-42 in specifics, I would like to add my comments to this lively debate on C-42 and explain in part why the NDP is forced to object and will be voting against the bill at report stage. We have proposed reasoned, positive, progressive amendments to this bill, and they have been rejected, all of them. We have included adding mandatory harassment training for RCMP members, specifically to the RCMP Act, ensuring a fully independent civilian review body to investigate complaints against the RCMP, adding a provision to create a national civilian investigative body that would avoid police investigating police, and creating more balanced human resources policies by removing some of the more draconian powers proposed by the RCMP for the RCMP Commissioner, and by strengthening the External Review Committee in cases involving possible dismissal from the force. Mr. Speaker, one of the reasons this bill is here is because the RCMP has been itself the subject of a lot of criticism, and that criticism is leveled generally at the top echelons of the RCMP. More recently, the criticism has come in the realization that there is a huge and potentially much bigger than has been reported systemic sexual harassment going on in the RCMP. And none of us on this side of the House have any intention of allowing this to continue. And one of the proposals that we have made was to ensure that the culture of the RCMP would in fact change. Change doesn't happen through a legislation. Change doesn't happen by somebody saying to the boss, fix it. Change happens from the ground. Change happens from the individuals who are the individual RCMP members being taught, being trained, being given harassment training, anti-harassment training in the workplace, and made to understand that culturally it is no longer acceptable. It is no longer acceptable in this country that women should feel threatened when they are members of the RCMP, that they should feel that they cannot complain about the practices that go on that they feel harassed by. And that is a key element of the NDP's position on this bill, that the sexual harassment that has come to the fore in the last few months must be rooted out, and it must be rooted out quickly. And that's not going to happen with this bill. Giving a little bit more power to the Commissioner and the other tinkering that's going on, while we recognize that there is some improvements being made here, it goes nowhere near far enough. This bill does not deal with the systemic problems in the RCMP, the systemic problems that have caused a litany of complaints about the RCMP to be made public over the past 15 years or so, and in one case, the allegations of sexual harassment appear to go back 23 years. That's a long time, Mr. Speaker, and that's a lot of culture that needs to be corrected, and it's not going to be corrected overnight, and it's not going to be corrected without a direct action on the part of this government to force mandatory anti-harassment training on the RCMP. And if the Speaker is rising because my time has run out, I thank you.
Yes, the time for government orders